As soon as legendary raids were released to the world in Pokemon Go, Lugia was a crowning achievement to have. As more and more time went on, more players received Lugia through the raids, but still, it remains one of the best Pokemon in Pokemon Go to date. This video will explain exactly why you should use Lugia in all of your offensive endeavors, seeing as you can't put it in gyms. That's a topic for another day. Let's talk actually usage-wise in Pokemon Go. The two best defenders right now are Blissey, of course, and Snorlax. I don't really count Chansey because it's so offensively inept, even more so than Blissey, that it all does is sit there and sponge hits. It doesn't really do a lot of damage back. It doesn't have a lot of potential to do a lot of damage back. At least Blissey can do that to you while it's stalling you. So that's why I don't really count Chansey. Some players do, but for me, the top two are Blissey and Snorlax. So, what is Blissey's best moveset? That would be Zen Headbutt, and that would be Hyper Beam. Now, I have created a damage calculator for Pokemon Go. Now, this damage calculator exists in a perfect scenario. It assumes, well, the calcs that I'm going to show, assume that both Pokemon are level 40, the attacker and the defender, and both Pokemon have max stats. Of course, you can input any level and any IVs to those Pokemon, but for pure damage calculating purposes, we want the Pokemon to be as even as possible. And them being at max level with max stats is the best way to do that. Especially the way gym motivation works now, that this calc is always going to have that Pokemon as its best case scenario. So it's only going to get easier to take down these Pokemon based on this calculator because they're not always going to be at the highest stats and the highest CP because of the motivation. So Blissey's best moveset is Zen Headbutt and Hyper Beam. Now, Lugia, being a Psychic type, will resist the Psychic Zen Headbutt from Blissey. So already, Blissey's ability to sponge hits is being reduced because it's doing even less damage than usual because Lugia is going to resist it. Each Zen Headbutt from Blissey is going to do only 2 damage to Lugia, just 2 damage. But the Hyper Beam will be doing 77 damage, so you want to make sure to try and dodge those Hyper Beams if possible. Now, the attacks to KO exist in a perfect vacuum as well. It takes 29 Zen Headbutts and 2 Hyper Beams based on the fact that every 10 Zen Headbutts will net Blissey 1 Hyper Beam. This does not take into account the damage that it takes from your attacks, but it also does not take into account the 50% chance that it has to use that charge attack, because gym defenders have a 50% chance to use charge attacks at any given time when they have enough energy. So this calc just takes into consideration just straight charge from what it gets from its own attacks and what that can do to the enemy. And you can kind of finagle these numbers, like I said, you can scale them down based on, you know, the actual Pokemon stats. But if you see there, Lugia, even on Blissey's best day, where it's hitting every 1.5 seconds with its Zen Headbutt and every Hyper Beam as soon as it loads, you are still going to be defeating Blissey almost every single time. This, of course, like I said, does not take into account the fact that Blissey will be gaining charge every time it takes damage from a future sight or extra sensory from Lugia. So again, just dodge Hyper Beams, but in a vacuum, Lugia gonna destroy that Blissey every single time. And you can do it in 82.7 seconds, so you're never gonna run into the timer. It is strictly on you to defeat that Blissey. Blissey, on the other hand, can defeat you on its best day. After that, it'll run a timer. It will never ever have a chance to beat you. So as long as you don't go to timer, Blissey will not defeat you. Let's look at another Snorlax. Another Snorlax set also is Zen Headbutt and Hyper Beam. But Lugia rips through Snorlax like a hot knife through butter. It takes him only 35.6 seconds at the most. Because again, he'll be taking charge from the damage that Snorlax is giving you, meaning you'll get extra future sights off. So it only takes you 25 extra sensories and 3 future sights to take out a Snorlax, and takes you just over 30 seconds. Whereas a Snorlax will take between 73 and 98 seconds to defeat you. And that is if it has Zen Headbutt and Hyper Beam. But what about if Snorlax has Lick Hyper Beam, its actual most useful defending moveset? Lick has the benefit of being more powerful, but because its power is so little, it does the same damage that Zen Headbutt does. It takes more licks and 2 Hyper Beams take it out, but still Lugia is having no problems at all dealing with Snorlax. It takes Snorlax more than a minute at the very most to destroy Lugia. Again, if everything is equal. So Lugia is going to run through the 2 best gym defenders, sometimes right in a row, without even having to switch. You can take on a Blissey and a Snorlax before you even lose Lugia, making Lugia one of the premier gym attackers right now in the game of Pokemon Go, based on those 2 gym defenders. Now, Lugia's value comes from its insane bulk. It has the 3rd highest defense right now and the 12th highest stamina right now. And with the potential to sponge hits from the biggest defenders, it can go a long way in helping you clear gyms. You want to utilize Lugia's bulk, and you want to use Lugia to take down the Blissey and the Snorlax. Do not let your other more offensive Pokemon that have to go against the likes of Tyranitar and Dragonite, don't let them have to deal with Blissey and Snorlax. Have a Lugia ready. Take out the Blissey, take out the Snorlax with Lugia, and the rest of your Pokemon can run through the not nearly as fat Pokemon in a gym. So why should you use Lugia? Well, Lugia is guaranteed to take down a Blissey and a Snorlax in a gym. Lugia will always be able to do that as long as, of course, you know how to dodge. Just dodge. Channeling my inner Piccolo here. Do that. Listen, Lugia is a great offensive asset. It does not take a lot of damage from Snorlax or Blissey, and it can take them out before the timer hits. There are way too many fighting-type Pokemon that think they can stand up to a Blissey, and then they get obliterated by a Zen Headbutt. So who would have thought? The Pokemon most designed to take out the premier special walls in the actual Pokemon games is the special wall itself in Lugia. But in Pokemon Go, Lugia's value comes from it being able to destroy both Blissey and Snorlax with ease. So to answer the question, why should you use Lugia in Pokemon Go? It beats Blissey, baby. It beats Blissey. And Snorlax too. But mostly Blissey. Thank you all for watching this video. Now, all the names on the left are all of my direct contributors through Patreon. They're my patrons through Patreon. Thank you very much to all of you guys. You guys help make this channel go around, and to be honest, for being totally frank, you guys literally pay my internet bill every month. So that is fantastic. Thank you, and I hope you guys like the random stuff that you get, usually about once a month. But let's get into the question. You guys can ask me a question on Sarah Ha. That link is in the description. I'll answer one at the end of each of my Pokemon videos. Today's question is, I don't know who it's from, how do you like the nickname, the creative god of YouTube? Everything you do feels so new and original. If that's an actual nickname that anyone has ever called me, that's fantastic, because I always strive to be creative. I always want to try to do something that people aren't doing, and I want to try to do it well. That's why I'm learning so many new things. That's why I'm trying to learn all this new video editing. That's why I'm trying to learn 3D animation. I want to be better than everybody else, and I don't want to do it. Okay, so I think in order now to be somebody on YouTube before, all you had to do was just kind of be, I guess, with the right people. Okay, it's true now too, but like back in the day when there wasn't a lot of people uploading, you didn't really have to be all that special uploading, because people just found you because there was like 100 people uploading Pokemon and that was it. Now there's like 1 million, so you have to stand out. You got to figure out ways to stand out, and if you don't, you are going to sink. So I try and be creative, hoping that everything that I do is one step closer to me standing out amongst everybody else doing this. I don't want to be the guy doing the shiny hunting like everybody else. I don't want to be the guy doing the randomized nuzz like everybody else. I want to do stuff that nobody else does, and that's what I want to be known for. So if that is actually my nickname, I don't think it is. I think it's just you who calls me that, which is great. You know what? If you call me that, I guess technically it is a nickname. I don't know the requirements for how many people need to call you something before it's a nickname, but I've never heard anyone call me that. But if that's what I'm called, that's awesome. I just, you know, I guess I'm glad that it's being appreciated that I'm trying to branch out and do so many new things within the same, you know, relative scope of Pokemon. So thank you, I guess. Be sure to leave a like if you guys enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more Pokemon Go videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.